Make sure you copy the
We're on.
link as well.
Okay. All right. So now it's broadcasting, and I have to copy that link. Yep. Okay. Good. Okay. So.
Hi, Marilyn.
Hey, hi. So what do you need as a small business owner?
I think small business owners need lots of help, and they're trying to do everything themselves, and at the moment I'm still doing most of it myself, so I really need to start outsourcing, and I have started, and I think once that sort of kicks in, that's going to make things a lot easier.
Yeah. Okay.
Small business owners, we have control, we take control, and I don't think we let go.
Aha.
I think we need to know when to let go.
Yeah. So what's going to help you to let go so that you can actually do the outsourcing?
I think finding the right type of outsourcers and getting the results with the outsourcers that I'm happy with.
Yeah.
And I think we have very high standards. So, yeah, I think it's a process, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Lori, what about yourself?
Tax information.
Tax information. Do you
Yeah,
have the same
seriously.
tax day as
Yeah.
we do, right? The 15th?
No, a month later, end of April. Through the end of
Okay.
April.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to set it up that's advantageous for us, given we have very complicated tax requirements and counsel for, I think that's right, tax information, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, among other things. Yeah, but when we have two small businesses going at once, is there anything that we can do lately that would be advantageous for us?
In terms of setting up your business,
Yeah.
so it's sort of like knowing what's the best entity to
Yeah.
have.
What to call ourselves, whether,
Yeah.
you know, we have one main parent company,
Yeah.
and then we have two other subdivisions underneath it. I think
Yeah.
that's probably where we're headed towards, but we haven't had time to really sit down and think about it. We're so small right now that it doesn't really make a difference, but I think ultimately as we grow, we are going to need someone that's competent in that.
Yeah, so it's good to set up the right structures from the beginning, because when your business is successful, you're really busy, but
And
you're
hire the right
busy
person.
making money. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it can get you in a lot of trouble if you don't have the right person doing it, and if they're not aware of the laws, and the laws are always changing. So the rules are always changing year to year. So it's a question of finding someone we have confidence in. And,
Do you have like the small business development centers there? You know, places that.
Yeah, that could be a means to what we're doing right now. I think we're just more or less asking other small business owners for referrals, but you know, that's certainly more information about what to look for in an accountant. At what point do you require a tax lawyer? Because I know people have told me sometimes you need to get a tax lawyer involved at certain points.
Yeah.
Stuff
Okay.
like that. That's probably the thing that comes to my mind first and foremost.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Tom. How about yourself?
So I just want to know a bit more about you, Marilyn, first. So where are you from?
I'm in Boston. I grew up in New York. I've been in Boston like for over 30 years. I've been coaching since 1997. I was at the second annual International Coach Federation meeting. So I said I met Dave Buck at that time before he actually owned Coachville. And I work with small business owners and do some career coaching, and I've done some executive and corporate coaching. But I really like working with small business owners because I've had my own business since 1988. So I've been a solopreneur, and I've had a business partner for a while, specializing in coaching in the IT industry. We actually coach some government executives, but we started it in 2007, and then we had to close that down in 2009 because of the recession. So, you know, I've been a solopreneur, I've had a partner, I've had a number of different businesses, and I just like being independent. And even though I'm the toughest boss I've ever had, I at least I know what to expect from her. So, so that's me.
So what's the purpose of the Hangout today for you? It's to just to get some crowdsourcing from small business owners?
Yeah, well, it's more than that. I'm actually starting a website, so one of the things that I've done is I've led a women's networking group. So I've been a professional networker. I kind of did that at one point for a national organization. And I learned that I love to network. I'm kind of a natural at it, I guess, anyway. It's something I always enjoyed. So I have created a website that's for local small business owners to network online, because networking is can be expensive, going to a lot of meetings. A lot of the meetings are at 7 a.m. I don't know. I think you have it there. We have something called Business Networking International, which is, one of my friends said, well, it's like BNI in your bunny slippers, or a virtual chamber of commerce. It's a way to network with other small business owners on a local basis for referrals and just to broaden the reach from what you can do, one-on-one. And I'm pretty excited about it. I just love, even though I'm not great, as you can see with the technology, I just love the possibilities of what this can offer. So I'm excited.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So from my perspective as a small business owner, one of the struggles that I've had is knowing where to find the right people to be able to build a team, and processes from moving your business forward from, say, for a lot of contractors, they start off with themselves, and then they kind of fall into business. They are very good at their skills in the trades, yet they're moving from being a tradesman into a businessman. And those skills generally aren't taught throughout the process, so you need to learn them. So finding good resources to identify, basically identifying good resources.
How did you learn them?
How did I learn them?
Yeah, because you're really good at it.
Yeah,
and you're a champ, right? You got the most hits, right? But now, how did you learn to run a business? A lot of it was trial and error, and I'm very observant, so I pick up on what other people have done. And so I find one of my key strengths is identifying problems, being able to solve problems. So when you see a problem, you can solve it. And I think the old saying is, what you can measure, you can manage, and if you can, if you can see a problem and you can solve the problem and you can measure it, then you can move forward. So a good team benefits from a good coach.
Correct. 100%.
And have you ever thought of yourself as a coach?
I have. I've trained people, and I definitely think that with coaching, it brings the best out in people. But you need to be able to click with that person. If there's no, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but basically,
inner motivation.
Yeah, you both need to be on the same page, and you can't. If someone doesn't want to be coached, you can't coach them.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So your dilemma is finding those people who are open to and want to work with you in the way that you like to work. That are coachable and that you can really build a relationship with, not just knock out a job.
But I think one of the things that Coach Dave said a little bit earlier is about coaching people where they're at, and I think that applies to business owners as well. So as a business owner, you've got a whole heap of business owners that are at completely different stages. You've got people that are just working solo, or you've got people that have got 100 employees, but even those businesses need to be able to step up to the next level, and they may not know what those next steps are. So I think the key thing is the resources, being able to access them and know where they need to go to take the next step. So you might, as Laurie said, you may need a tax lawyer
Yeah.
You may need a particular type of tax lawyer that can handle the type of business that you have. So not everyone is skilled at what you need to move to that next step. And being able to identify that easily would be a great resource.
Yeah. So what's the size of your business?
I'm only a small business.
But how many people do you have?
There's only me and contractors, so I've got 5 contractors working.
So they're like sub-contract, you pay them as you need them?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. All right, awesome, thank
I
you.
changed my business model recently, so.
Yeah. Okay. Trevi, how about yourself?
Hi, Marilyn.
Hey.
Well, basically, I think for small business owners, what we really need, which we do not realize, is we actually need a team of people around us. And I think a lot of small business owners try to do everything themselves.
Yes.
You know, we hate relying on other people or asking questions. And that is why I think a lot of small business owners are failing. They do not have a team around them. And I think what they actually ultimately need is a team of mastermind. You know, mastermind like this in a Google Hangout. That is what they need. And I think I think there is a huge market that people do not know.
I'm so glad you're saying that, because I actually have a button on my website that I haven't activated yet for a mastermind group. So
yes,
that's
exactly
awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been in business over 7 years, and we've always had mastermind groups. So we have boards, we have like managers mastermind, we've got HR masterminds, we have masterminds everywhere. And with that, we find out we do not make as much mistakes.
Yeah. Now, do you work for a company as well as have your own business, or are you just in your own business now?
We have our own business. We're in partnerships with quite a few people, and we've got over 500 employees.
Wow.
I've got over 15 businesses, so and it's the challenge. I think that you try to do everything yourself, and all 15 businesses, you can't do it. So you need to leverage your time. And and it's important that you have a team around you. For example, if I've got a problem with a staff member, I try not to deal with it. I just bring HR, and HR deals with it. This way you get very efficient, and you can always expand more and more when you have a central headquarters or infrastructure to allow you to do that.
Yeah. No, where are you based? You're in Singapore?
Australia, actually.
Australia. You're in Australia too. So I've got.
I studied in Singapore for 10 years. That's probably why I sound like Singaporean, actually.
So I wanted to set up so do you use forums ever to get information to help you in your businesses?
Not really. I mean, I haven't actually used forums up to now. To be honest, I've always found out that I've always connected with people better face to face.
Face to face.
In the meeting wise, rather than just on the forum, because you don't really know who you're dealing with in the forum. They're all behind the screens.
Yeah. So this is really a great medium for doing that.
Yes. This is also medium. So Google Hangouts, I think, is one of the technology that small business owners have been missing out.
Yes.
And we all can leverage on this, and it's free.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome. Great. So I wanted to set up the forum on the website with some key questions, and but I think you've given me a bunch of wonderful things to think about. But does everybody agree with Trevi that having a live, using the Google Hangout will be a great tool for doing the kind of thing that I want to do? And engaging people.
I've got a question for Trevi. What do you think the difference between a Google Hangout and a forum is, in the context that I see this as a forum right this very second that we're talking? If Marilyn was to facilitate questions, the same as you do when you start a forum, someone asks a question. Do you think this is the same platform? Just give more insight.
Yeah, well, this is by itself a forum, but I think this you get to connect with people better. A forum is where you ask a question and you're gonna have to come back in about a day later to get answers if you're lucky. Whereas here you get answers straight away. And I think this is more efficient.
The
If you want to
immediacy.
get problems solved and you want questions answered, this is it. A forum, you got to wait. I'm not a fan of waiting.
That is a commonality amongst entrepreneurs, right? They're restless and yeah, like things done quickly.
Exactly right. It's
Yeah,
a great question.
Great point. That really is a great point. Yeah, I like that. Well, I did kind of post the question in advance. Was that helpful? Just to have the question, you know, I put up the post. Yeah. Did that help people feel more interested in participating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it did.
Good.
Yeah, and even if you put a few more questions, things to reflect about before you come in, like that was just like one. It depends how you want. How many people are there?
Yeah.
You know, sort of if there's a lot of people with 100 questions, it's not going to work. But if you ask like one big question with lots of people, then it's okay. But like if it's a 3 or 4 people, then it helps me if I can be thinking of some things before I come in to talk about and to ask.
Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah, no, I'm actually blown away by the fact that I have the 4 of you here, and I really, really am grateful, and hope that it's valuable.
Hey, Marilyn, you've got Hangout junkies here.
Yeah. So here's another way.
Sorry, Tom.
To think about it. How can all of you see using Hangouts in your businesses?
I'll go first. I think it's going to be totally awesome.
Right. Because that's what I do is I ask people questions all the time. But, Fiona, how about yourself?
Yeah, it's going to be really useful for me because it's going to be immediate. Like Treffy said, I think people really want that instant answer, and they can move forward with their time. People just don't have time to wait for writing letters these days. People just don't write letters, phone calls. That's frustrating. You can't see the person's face. This is face-to-face, and I think it's so intimate and it's immediate and it serves all the above boxes. It just ticks all the boxes, and I think it's going to be really useful. And well, Tom was on my Hangout yesterday, and I think I just got blown away. It was just so good. Well, I've watched it a couple of times, and I just think it was just awesome. And
I see your site is called Hangout, Genealogy Hangout. That's the name of your site.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's about genealogy and it's about members, and members hang out. And I just thought it went together. It was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
No, that's my opinion anyway. So.
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Laurie, how about yourself?
Well, me, I'm mixed. I can see me using it, but not lots and lots because, you know, obviously, if I was going to be coaching skating, I need to be on the ice with you. I think we can have like a hangout to bitch about injuries or something like that, probably once a month, or bitch about, you know, the stuff we're working on. So it'd be a good way of I think, just connecting and saying, I'm a real person. Yeah. My big concern in this is people have to be on Google Plus to do it in the first place. So I've got to start coaching people who don't have Google Plus, how to get into it, how to connect with a Hangout, and I'm still not really good at connecting with Hangouts. Yeah. I can never find those freaking links, you know? Like, I mean, I'm looking all over the place, like, where do we find them? So that's why I'm going to do it with my son. If he's coming home tonight, or is he sleeping over? I don't know if he's coming home tonight. He's coming home. Okay, I'll do it with him tonight, because I've got to coach him through setting up Google Plus on his computer, getting me into his Hangout, getting him into my Hangouts, and then I have to figure out how to make the whole freaking thing live and sending links and stuff. And to me, it's just so counterintuitive at this point. Yeah. I don't even understand it. So I don't know how I'm going to get a bunch of people, non-techies on the other side of the planet here and there, and I don't know what they've got on their computers or not. So, you know, it's a lot bigger for me. It's like,
well, we'll have to have Tom write a cheat sheet for us.
Yeah.
Fiona. Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm going to move to Tom's next door, buy the house next door to Tom, and then just like him right next door.
Well, I think when you come from Australia and you're so far away, you get really good at being able to connect with the rest of the world, right?
It's way possible if you can communicate. Yeah, I know.
Excuse me, it's you guys that are too far away, not
Well,
us.
that's
We're
true.
together.
That's true.
Come on. It's shrinking
Yeah,
numbers.
we're close to each other.
Right. I'll have to
That's right.
reverse my thinking. Yeah.
We've embraced you, Marilyn.
Yeah, you know what I think about? I think about when I traveled when I was younger and I would meet all these, Australians, and they would say, oh, we're traveling for 3-4 months because once we leave Australia, we just want to see everything. So that's kind of stuck in my mind all these years. But it's a smaller world now, for sure.
Yeah.
Tom, how about yourself? How do you see?
That's actually a perfect lead-in from you guys. I'm using it on multiple levels. One of the things that I'm actually in the process of doing is setting up another business just on Google+.
Okay.
And being able to coach people and teach small businesses how to use Google Hangouts, and that's
fabulous! Yeah,
that's
you are good. You are good.
So that's one of the things. But for my new parenting hangout, which is just here, I'm using it to interview people around the world. I've got 2 interviews lined up next week for my site.
Awesome.
One from Switzerland and one from North Carolina, and they're both experts in their field at what they do. So that's one of the ways I'm using it. But the other way, like to hang out, like the word itself is like a group of people, I guess, collectively meeting at a place. Or as Kate said it in pregnancy, she's hanging out of her jeans at the moment with her belly.
That's great. Yeah.
So it just feels like it's safe. So it's a nice way to do it. But yeah, we're using it for the new parenting hangout to basically get the people together, have a safe environment for people to participate. We lost Trevi. Participate in a hangout so they can connect and engage with people, and it can be at any time of the day within the community. Because I think that's a key factor for when you're a new parent, that it may be.
You want to talk to somebody in the middle of the night, maybe.
Correct. Yep.
So get that baby to sleep.
Correct. When you're up breastfeeding or the baby's awake and you can't get it to sleep, to be able to connect to someone, it doesn't need to be someone in your country. It can be someone around the world that it's their daytime. So to be able to use that medium to connect with people and to share that experience and just to have that support of a network of people that you can rely on.
Tom, you are onto something. I think you really are onto something there. That's great. Yeah. You're onto many things. Yeah, you have like a very fertile mind in that way. Yeah, that is great.
Very fertile in.
Yeah. So we did lose Trevi, huh?
Yeah. Hang on, I can.
Now Tom is just boasting.
The very fertile Mr. Belkin.
Yeah. So he got all those votes, huh? That's great. So, well, thank you. And, anyone just want to bring up anything particular before we wrap up? Or
We got Trevi back.
you have Trevi?
There he is.
Hey, Trevi. I don't see him yet.
I see him, but I can't hear him.
There he is. Hey, hi.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
Excellent. Sorry about that, guys. My computer crashed.
so I just saw that Fiona looked like she muted you, but then she disappeared you. So here you are.
No. I made myself disappear.
Okay. So how are you using the Google Hangouts? Or have you planned to, or see how they can benefit you in your business?
Well, at this time, I'm taking a lot of my time is actually spent in flying around the country to visit my businesses. And I think with Google Hangout, I could actually bring that a lot closer and maybe save some air ticket.
So tell us about your businesses. You have multiple.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I'm in the business of pharmacies, and we've got pharmacies over Australia wide. Yeah. And I just spend about quite a bit of my time visiting the businesses and coaching the managers.
Yeah.
I think with Google Hangouts, I just recently started a mastermind among all my students in Adelaide, which is basically the city I'm in. Now with Google Hangout, I can actually expand it to all my managers who are all over the country, and we all can sit together and brainstorm at the same time. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
You would bring my business to the next level, having a mini mastermind among my managers. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I know some coaches who they'll do an industry like financial advisors from one company that are all over the world. And they essentially work for themselves, but they represent American Express. And they've done that as teleclasses, so this is a much better venue. Awesome.
Exactly right.
And the business rescue is, what's your angle? What's your
business rescue,
what are you trying to accomplish?
Well, Business Rescue is a new membership site which I've started. The intention of why I started it was because over the years I've made so many mistakes myself as a business owner, and it's cost me a few $100,000 easily. And I wish there was someone who could have told me, taught me what mistakes not to make. And so that's why I have this businessrescue.com. I started as a community to teach people my mistakes so that they don't make the same mistakes as well. And so this is how I deliver value to them. It's, as I tell everyone, it costs $1 to start. Can you afford $1? I think you can. Can you afford a few $100,000 to lose?
Right.
Not many people can afford that. So I
what's
said, look,
the biggest mistake that you have made, or that you see the business owners?
Oh wow. Well, one of it, not having mastermind and trying to do everything yourself. That's a big mistake.
To do it yourself. Yeah.
I've personally tried to deal with competition by taking over them, and not knowing their business model, and that has cost me a lot of money. Then I had to shut it down, and because I have no idea what the business is. So my one tip I could give to everyone who's watching this hangout is to say, look, if you don't know a business, don't touch it. If you're gonna learn on the fly and put your money in line and learn that, there's a very expensive lesson you're gonna have. So if you want to just get a mentor, a coach, or someone who is in that field and learn from them.
Yeah. What made you have a business that you didn't understand? What attracted you?
It was a competition who was starting up, and we were, long story short, we were given an opportunity to take over that franchise before they caused a threat to our business. So we thought there'll be a smart decision by taking over the competition. But
not so smart.
Not after you got to throw a lot of money in. Very painful.
Wow, that's a good lesson. And
just going back to your question before, Marilyn.
Yeah.
You asked Trevi how he's going to use Hangouts, and he went on to the travel. Now, as a business owner, Trevi, do you think that it'd be a big cost saving for you not to have to travel as much, both in time and in dollars?
Oh, for sure. Huge cost savings, like massive. And the fact that if I were to create something like this on a real time zone for all my managers to fly to one place, that would cost a hell of a lot of money.
Yes.
Imagine if a flight is $1,000 each, you got 20 of them.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, and I'm getting this for free.
Yeah, that is great. Yeah. Now, has anybody used webinars? The GoToMeeting model?
No, I actually not dealt with that, because I always find, as I say again, I like dealing with people when face to face.
Yeah.
And this trumps it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
GoToMeeting is so frustrating too. I find you can't see people. I don't know. Every time I've had GoToMeeting with the coaches, with the UIBC coaches, we've always had problems with it.
Really?
Yeah. Plus, you have to pay for it too, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they give it to you free for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. But ultimately, you got to pay for it.
Yeah. No, that was a great question, Tom. That was a super question about the travel.
Perfect.
For sure. All right. Well, I think that it's time to wrap up. I always, when I coach people, I always say, ask what the big takeaway is. So I'm going to start with Fiona and just go across the screen and ask you each what your big takeaway is from today. So my big takeaway is that you've all just been tremendously helpful to me, and I appreciate your patience in getting on the Hangout. Fiona, what's your big takeaway?
I think the big takeaway is, as you say, for small business owners to outsource and try not to do everything themselves and build their team, build their mastermind. And
Yes.
I feel very grateful because I've managed to build a mastermind without a structure in place, but I've got Tom, I've got Trevi, I've got Laurie, now Marilyn, I have you. So thank
Awesome.
you.
Oh, you're welcome. Wonderful. Thank you. Laurie.
Go Aussies!
I.
Oi!
Yay, East Coast! Yay, East Coast! I think my big takeaway was watching you work through all this, Marilyn, and watching how you handled it with grace and aplomb. And I got some ideas from all of you for other things I can do with my potential hangouts, like having an expert and having a discussion with an expert.
Yeah.
Once I figure out how to do the freaking thing.
Laurie, it's so easy. It's not difficult at all.
Stop saying that. It's not. Vicky, stop it. It's not easy.
Well, it's not as easy as I thought, but it's not as hard either.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to turn out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to Casey's video again and listen to Sean's video again and try to figure out what I'm doing. And I really, my goal is to learn, like Tom, how to coach people, my followers, in how to set up Google Plus, how to get in, and what's going to happen when I get in. So I might have to make a video like Casey to send to them before we actually start doing it as well. So I'm just getting a lot of ideas to get ready for it. I'll see. If I'm in a good mood, I might actually get it done tonight.
Good. You have 2 more days.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Tom?
So I've got 2 takeaways. The first being the importance of building a team and having the team structure to move your business forward. That's the key one. And the second one is confirmation from crowdsourcing, throwing an idea that I've been working on out to the crowd and getting support from all my other community members here.
Yeah, so. Great. So specifically about the new parent.
No, actually about the Google coaching.
Oh, the coaching, yeah. Yeah. Good. And Trevi, how about yourself?
Well, the biggest takeaway I have with, I've realized that we have acres of diamond right around us all the time, and you guys are all my diamonds. And thank you guys for being a community, for being supportive.
Oh,
something through as this small hangout that we have, we continue to connect and build relationships.
Yes.
And it's important to me. You guys are all diamonds. I mean, I've been looking around like, what am I going to do with my new business and how to get crowdsourcing and getting people to ask questions. Well, you guys have just done a fantastic job in a very short time.
Well, thank you, Trevi.
Thank you.
I have a question for Trevi. Right now, off the top, how much do you think you can save? The airfare, just airfare and hotel.
I probably would say, I don't know, maybe if I get mastermind, if I was to have a mastermind in, like this on a monthly basis, that would cost me at least 20-30 grand.
Wow.
But I mean, in terms of airfare for you, not having to go out and meet with people and everything.
That airfare I'm going to go. I mean, the savings is probably what, $1,000, $2,000 per ticket. But I think what's more important for me is I don't have to fly 12 hours to one place and come back.
Right.
Yeah.
that time saving is more important for me than the money I'm saving.
Yeah,
Because
gosh, yeah. Because you
time
can be
is
more
a
productive in those 12 hours.
yeah. So time is a resource we all have, and we tend to waste it. And I find time is probably the most expensive resource we ever have because we can never get back.
That is such a great takeaway. So here's something I'm thinking, and is that this would make a great article. And what if the 5 of us wrote an article together about?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So
we're still broadcasting here as well, Marilyn.
yes.
You can stop the broadcast.
So what do I do now with the broadcast? So everyone's going to broadcast on to their peoples. Your
what?
Whatever.
See on the top, there's a button that says on it. It says end broadcast. I think it's a red button.
Yes.
Just click that when you want to finish up.
Okay. All right.
But that doesn't.
And then we'll still be connected.
Okay.
If I hit that, we're still connected with each other.
Yes.
But it's just not live.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
It's not being taped or broadcast. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to end it now.
Okay.
Everyone.
Okay. We're still connected though to each other.
Yes.